First of all, thanks everybody for coming. Really grateful for our fans that came out. It was a good crowd, good energy in here. I think there's a lot of people around Marquette and around Milwaukee that are very excited about the start of basketball season. And there's nobody more excited about the start of basketball season than our team. We've had 10 practice days so far since we started practice. The guys have really done a good job of kind of building some habits. But obviously, for it being early October, we still have a long way to go in terms of building those habits. And that's why we have a lot more practice to go. Our first game's in 30 days on November 7th. And we've got a couple of close scrimmages coming up against other teams that we're excited about, kind of testing ourselves against what someone else does. But I was pleased with our guys' effort. Obviously, one team, the blue team, was much better overall with execution and defense than the gold team was. But that's kind of to be expected. You had Cam Jones and Tyler Kolick and also Iguodala all on one team. Any questions?
Yeah, guys, there seemed to be a lot of juice playing in front of the crowd for the first time, especially the first couple of minutes. What do you think of the players in there?
Well, first of all, I really appreciate the folks that came to watch us, because this is really important for us to give the guys a different look than we have in practice. In practice, you know, every day it's competing against each other in Caston Gym with nobody there. And this is closer to what it's like in a real game, where there's people watching, some families here, our guys' families, and you know, there's an understanding that, hey, the way I play is going to be seen by people. That's basketball, especially at this level. So I really appreciate everyone that came, and I think our guys did a good job, like you said, Ben, of bringing energy. I thought the gold team got a little down. Things didn't go their way. We've got to work on response, because there's going to be times where we get down in the game and we've got to respond. I thought overall our guys, you know, gave what they had.
You were short-handed, but what exactly were the injuries to the top?
Chase took a really hard hit the other day in practice to his head, and felt much better the next day, but just out of precaution, he had to go into, you know, the process that's required to come back. So yeah, it's still a few more days, but he'll be back soon. We're hoping early next week. And then, you know, Job sustained an injury that the trainer and the doctor feel like are minor, but he's still, you know, working his way back to being able to come back. He was playing his butt off. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the first day of practice, the dunk he had. He's just had a different energy to him. So we're hopeful, you know, hopeful to get him back by next week as well. And then obviously, as I mentioned, Marion had surgery, so he'll be out for a while.
Is it a lower body for Job?
Yeah, knee. But he kind of hyperextended it a little bit. He actually came back in and practiced the rest of the day, but it was bothering him some. So again, just out of precaution. It's a long preseason, so you know, we got to make sure that we do everything we can to protect these guys' health. As much as we wanted everyone to be able to play today, the more important thing is everyone being able to play on November 7th and moving forward.
Stevie had 16 points for the gold team. He looked impressive, especially towards the end of it. So where have you seen the biggest growth in him? What impressed you today?
Stevie's got incredible energy. I would say if we were to pick one energy representative of how we want to be and who we want to be, it would be Stevie Mitchell. And his job is to set that tone each and every day, regardless of circumstances, for his teammates. And I thought he did a good job of that today. I thought he was the one guy on that gold team that didn't get bummed out that the game wasn't really going their way. I thought, you know, some of the other guys got a little down. It's understandable, it's just not acceptable. We need to continue to grow and learn and know how to respond. But I thought Stevie made some really good plays getting in the paint. I'll have to watch the tape, but I'd say he definitely had the most paint touches of anyone on both teams. He needed some help out there today in order for his team to compete a little bit more.
There's been a bit of a change in the head coaches in the Big East, seeing more head coaches of color. What's your just thoughts on that change, but also what is your kind of role in this kind of movement?
I think my most important role is doing a great job for our guys and our program and our university at Marquette. Because as I've learned over the years, this is my 14th year as a head coach, you know, whether you're a black coach or not, The example that you set and the tone that you set with the way you go about things every day with your players and with even people external to your program, that's the most powerful way that you can impact others or future coaches. But I think it's terrific that we have great diversity in the Big East. We also happen to have phenomenal coaches, regardless of race, on phenomenal programs. This league is going to be, I would say, as competitive or more competitive than any league in the country when you talk about 11 programs and the way that they have put themselves in position to have a very good season.
With you guys having your game here and in this building this year,
yes.
How important was it for you guys to have kind of a game-like atmosphere?
That's a great point. You know, it was kind of a scheduling quirk. There's an event in Fiserv for about 5 days, right kind of early in our season where we couldn't be there. And because we're playing Purdue in our third game on the road, it didn't really make sense to go play another road game in that stretch. So the alternative was to play here. Obviously, it's occurred some in the past, but I don't know that anyone on our current team, certainly our current coaching staff, has been a part of a home game here at the Al. So yeah, we're practicing in here a little bit more. The shooting background's a little bit different. Today was great just to be in here with some of our fans, just to feel kind of what the energy will be like in here. Being at games, whether it's Marquette volleyball games or Marquette women's basketball games here, man, it gets loud in here. It gets rocking in here. So I'm excited about to see what that atmosphere is going to be like.
So was a playmaker a lot today.
Yeah.
You seem to have good chemistry with Zach. You guys even ran like that 5-4 pick and roll. Like,
yeah.
You see how these guys play.
Well, Oso is going to handle the ball more than any 6'10" guy in the country. I can promise you that. I mean, he really, that's one of the best things that he does is handle the ball. And with that, he's not always going to be perfect. You know, he had one early in the game where he dribbled it off his foot. But he's going to be able to make a lot of good plays and a lot of good passes. We're continuing to work on his aggressiveness of when he should go attack the score as opposed to when he should pass to a teammate. And it really comes down to what the help defense does. Him and Zach have quickly kind of developed a chemistry playing together. Zach's also kind of a versatile player who can do some different things. Really pleased with just the fact that he's gotten a lot of practice reps after most of the summer not being able to play because he had to get his knee scoped when he first got here. So, you know, with Zach, I definitely encourage him, our coaching staff, and even all our fans, watch his growth and his progression from 1 month to the next. And he's starting to figure it out, but this is a big jump for him level-wise. And the great thing is he's got it in him, and he's got a real poise and character to him that I think is going to win out.
Kind of going to the league and playing a lot more.
Yeah.
Is that something we're expecting to see more from him this season?
Cam. Yeah. Cam is, along with Jop, those are the two most gifted scorers that we have. Cam's a guy that he really does not want to be a one-dimensional shooter. He wants to be a guy that impacts the game on the defensive end. He wants to be a guy that can put the ball on the floor. We've really been on him about getting to the foul line more. He did not get there today, but he got there, I think, the same number of times in Big East play as you and I have been. So that's a huge point of emphasis for us to get him in the paint. He's got good footwork, as you saw. He's kind of, it's unique. You know, his high school coach is here today. In high school, Cam played kind of a post position. So he's got some experience posting up. And I'm not saying that that's going to be the focal point of our offense, but he can kind of turn his back and wheel the deal.
Sean, you come to call Sean one of the most exciting players.
He's exciting. Yeah. And
how can he separate, use that speed to like step back?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this. Sean's dad is from Milwaukee. And so that whole, his father's side of the family, his grandmother, aunts, uncles are here. You know, so he's going to have a consistent cheering section here, and that's part of the reason that he chose Marquette. He did some good things, getting some separation, making some shots today. The way that we guard pick and rolls it kind of negates a little bit of Sean's quickness because we're just switching with Oso, and he can deal with that. Most of the teams we play, I don't know if they're going to be able to switch with their 5-man onto him. He needs to get the ball down the floor faster than he did today. Again, I think fatigue kind of played into that a little bit. But he's just got incredible speed, quickness, and burst. And he's a guy that on the defensive end can change the game. Didn't see enough of that today. Maybe his focus coming out here for the first time in front of fans was the offensive end. And that's a freshman-like thing. But he's a guy that we're very excited about being able to change the game on defense, and that's something that's going to get him on the floor.
Your team played the 3-2 zone a little bit. Are you going to mix that in?
Yeah. We've been working on zone. We've been practicing some. It's not our primary defense, but I think with the makeup of our team, we've got versatile guys that play on the front line that can go guard out on the perimeter. So it makes sense to do at some points. A lot of it's dependent on the opponent, depending on the situation, foul trouble, what have you. But it's definitely something we mix in and we do according to the situation.